Welcome back. Today we are finally going to tackle the gearbox on the camper van. Let's just get straight on with it. It's cold, didn't want to hang around here, let's do it. Right, as I says, we're tackling the gearbox on the camper van today, so this is where we're at the state of play. I've already took the gearbox out of the camper van. It's pretty much faultless most of the day. I didn't bother filming, I'll be honest. I don't like working in the cold to start with, let alone filming and things taking twice as long. As it happens, just got it done in time. It went dark, my light went dead, and it started to rain just as I dropped the gearbox on the floor. Absolute result. So the phone gimbal thing's done a whole thing where it thought it was recording and hasn't recorded again. So I think I've got a little bit of it. Again, not 100% sure exactly what you've seen in that time-lapse video, but as you can see, I've already got best part rid apart. Now, this job here can be done, I'm being told, with the gearbox in place. Now, I thought it was the synchro blocker ring that wasn't working, but it turns out I've actually found some broken bits, which is a good sign because hopefully this might be quite an easy fix. So you can see inside there where it's been rubbing on the outer cover. This is 5th gear. So first things first, took the outer cover off. That's this cover here, outer cover off there. Now, I'm not going to disturb it too much because I've got it laid out how I know it needs to go. So this gear here sits on there and is obviously tightened on with that nut. Yeah, simple job, just bang the nut off. Gear was a little bit sticky to get off, but I've managed to get it off all the same. This comes off in this order. So this was on first over the shaft. That lives in there like that, and that's the one that's lives in there like that, and that's the one that's constantly meshed with this. Now, the synchro ring is this one here. This is what I thought was the issue. So what happens is, as you go to select the gear, that starts to grip onto this gear underneath and lines up them teeth there so you can select it. So you know when you're changing gear and you're shifting it, you can feel like a clunk. That's what's happening basically. It's lining this up and doing that. Now as it happens, this blocker ring is actually alright. That's getting a good enough grip. So let's just put it all back the way I took it off, because God knows how long this could be before I get it sorted. This is the synchro part here. Now this is where the fault is. So this was on top, which also lines up with the blocker ring. This was on top and held on with this clip. There was a pin through, I don't know if you can see, through that little hole there, just to hold the selector on and in place. Knock the pin out, this whole unit come off as a oneer. This clip here actually belongs to this. It's what helps that select, I believe. That's what I'm led to believe anyway. So that's your full 5th gear assembly there. As I say, this can be corrected with the gearbox still in place. Don't need to take it out to do this. What I wanted to show you, because obviously I'm going into 4th gear because I've got an issue with 4th gear as well. The one thing I did want to show you was these. So next, what I'm going to do next is I've got to take out them 2 screws there, which will take this clip off here, and then all of the bolts that go around, all the bolts that go around to basically split the gearbox in 2. Now you'll see that again because I will time lapse it provided that the phone does what it needs to do. So split the box in 2. However, there is, if you look, you see these. So what you've got there is, if you look, you see the little groove inside there, inside on that one. So what there is there's balls and springs go into these 3 things. So if I just take it apart as is, the balls and springs will fall out. So what you've got is, you've got 3 screws there. 1, 2, 3. So if I take them out, there'll be a ball and spring behind them. Now I've been told that they are Loctited in, so they will be a bit of a job to get out. I will have fun with that. But that's basically the next bit that I'm going to do, yeah. But that's all I want to show you was just that. So if you take them 3 out there, balls and springs will come out. We'll put them to one side, and then should you be a matter of taking that ring of bolts out, pop the outer casing off. It should leave all the gears and selectors, everything inside is the hope, and then I can just carry on stripping down this shaft to access 4th gear. Result. Let's get back on with it. Good and bad news. So the bad news is I could only get one of the springs and cups out. The other 2 have just chewed up and died. I expected this would happen. You can see in there, that's the one I managed to get out. Obviously that one and that one I didn't, but I have managed to rescue the balls that came out. So all I'll do is I'll just order, once this casing's out and I've got it cleaned and that, I'll order a couple of new plugs. Actually, I'll probably just order 3 new plugs for the tops of them so I can put them back in. That's not a problem. Right, so as I said with 5th gear, remember I said I found some metal pieces that were chewed up, so it was stopping the sync row from actually working as it should do. The good news is I've got the exact same problem with number 4. So if you watch on here, I'll try and demo as best I can for you. Let's have a look. So that there is 3rd gear selected, yeah? I can't actually, unfortunately, I can't turn it. If 3rd gear is selected there, you can see how the blocker ring's covered. You see that there is the blocker ring. You see that little brassy ring there that's moving. And it's selected this gear here, which is 3rd gear. This is 4th gear. Watch what happens when I pull it up. It doesn't want to... It doesn't want to mesh, it's being blocked because that bit of wire is actually interfering with it. So that's the good news. The bad news is I believe this might be a couple of sync rows I need. It might be this one and this one, complete sync rows, which is quite an expensive repair, I believe, unless I can get the springs separate. But I'm sure from talking to somebody that they says to upgrade it to the newer type sync rows, and then you'll not have this problem again. Now I'm wondering if I do that, because obviously 5th gear, 3rd and 4th, this is the 3rd, 4th sync row, that is 1st and 2nd sync row, between 1st and 2nd. So I'm wondering if I'm doing that, do I just cut the crap and do all of the sync rows in a oneer? You know? That's what I'm not sure about anyway. So yeah, so good and bad news. It's not what I thought it was, because I thought it was just the blocker rings. I thought it was, let's get it back. I thought it was just them. That brassy ring there was just causing a problem, but it's not. That brassy ring is actually locking onto there, which is what you wanted to do. But I would also like for that to go into there. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm gonna try and get number 4 off. I'm not sure how to get this piece off here, be honest. I might have to just tappy and see if I can get it to disturb off, get it to knock off. I believe it is just a bearing, and then hopefully once that's off, then I can get into the rest of it. We'll see how it goes. I might end up having to take the whole gear assembly out onto the bench and then strip it on the bench. I don't know, but we'll see how this goes. We'll just get on with it. This is where we're at. So we are stripped. I need a new one of them. That I presume is just some sort of thrust washer that lives in the bottom of there. As you can see, it's a bit chewed up and burnt up, obviously. So just replace that. Third gear sync row is actually alright. That's gripping quite nice and it's got good teeth on. This one here is for fourth gear, and if you look, I'm going to pull it out, if you look, it's actually got teeth missing. And when you get a proper look at the teeth, they're looking quite rounded off if you compare them to a good set of teeth. So you can see how they've got nice little edge on, whereas these ones don't. So these, I believe, are called the blocker rings. So what I'm going to do is I need the wires came off this, because that's what activates that. So we need a new one of them, new blocker ring for number 4, same for number 5, and a new, I'm just going to go a new blocker ring as well, because the teeth on number 5 don't look, they're not as rounded. But I think something rings a bell. Something rings a bell when I've been looking. I'm sure this and this come as one. So I think it might just be a full sync row for 4 and 5, which is what I pretty much thought it was. So hopefully that might not be too bad. So that's the state of play. I hope these parts come quickly so I remember how they all go back together again. And we'll just go from there. We're back, we've got parts, so let's have a think, where were we? So where we left it off the last time, which was just 2 seconds ago for you, but it was like a week ago for me. 5th gear was removed, 5th gear sync, the 2th gear was quite a bit worn, and the ring was snapped, the bolt ring was snapped. 4th gear, no, sorry, my bad. That's 5th gear. That's the bearing for the box. We're now getting inside the box. That's 4th gear. 3rd gear's on there. That's 3rd and 4th gear sync. Now the bolt ring was snapped on that as well. Had a little bit of issues getting one of the blocker rings for it, which was this one here. Which, if you can see, you see there's a broken tooth there, and there's a missing tooth here on the corner there, so, and that's quite worn down as well. Anyway, long and short of it was, I ordered new blocker rings and new bolt rings. Got the new bolt rings there, they're actually in the sync row, that's them actually there. You can sort of see, actually I'll just take it out for you because they don't need to be in. That's the bolt rings there, that's what they should look like. There, that's what they should look like there. So that just puts a little bit of pressure on to allow it to jump between them. So, as I say, the blocker ring that they sent was the wrong one. I've had a bit of chat with the guy that he can't work out what that's actually for. He doesn't know whether the gearbox has been opened before and modified for whatever reason or not. Anyway, the long and short of it is basically I've just ordered a complete 3rd and 4th gear sync row ring. The complete unit, basically all of this, complete all in one, which has worked out well because 3rd and 4th pretty much the gears you're going to be moving between, so that's worked well. So I just basically going to build it up. One thing you didn't see off camera was I actually, out of my own curiosity, I stripped it all the way down to 1st and 2nd sync, which is this one here. Hold on, we'll try and zoom in a little bit for you. There, which is 1st and 2nd sync, that one there. When I stripped it down a bit further, I found out that the bolt rings on them were also snapped. So I have basically every single bolt ring in this gearbox was snapped, every single one. So I ordered a pair of bolt rings for there as well to put in. Now, my concern is here, the nice new gear obviously is nice and firm and stiff and tight. Yeah, thanks Franco for the message. There's a little bit of play in this one here, but anyway, with the 2 bolt rings in, it still works well and selects a 2 gear, so I think I'm just going to leave that. I never actually had any issues before the bolt rings, before I took it apart and knew about the bolt rings, getting 1st and 2nd, so I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit better with the bolt rings on there. So anyway, that's better. So basically just got to build the rest of it up now. So third gear, third and fourth sync row. Now I know which way this goes around because if you look, the two sync rows are actually different. You see, fourth gear actually only has one single ring on. Make sure that's sat right. Third gear, this is why first, second and third wasn't showing any problems, is a completely different setup altogether. You see, that has two different rings on. So yeah, so basically I know which way around this goes, so make sure that's sat right. So that one there is third gear. So we'll drop it on that way on. So when they're married up, they need to be like, you can see they're quite close like that. So we'll drop that on just as a one hole unit. Okay, so that's actually the gear there selected. So if I pull this way, that should deselect the gear. So how you know that they're sitting right? Bear in mind, I've never done one of these gearboxes before, so I am to make it up as I go along. But how you know that they're sitting right is each time that you get a little locking ring, I don't know if you can see there, see the groove is, I know it's sitting right because that groove is fully level with where we need to be. So what I'll do is, before we go any further, I'll pop this ring on. This third and fourth sync row, I've noticed there's actually a slightly different design. It's a newer design with little latches on. You need to basically do your own research on this one, because I know what I mean, even if you don't, you know. That's not what I want to do. Right, I'll be back in a moment. We're back. A little bit of fiddling, a little bit of messing about. Basically, I've rebuilt the sync row again that's just crumbled and fallen apart on us. When I said that it was different to the other one, so the other one just had the one bolt ring on, which them lumps there basically pressed against a little groove in the outer shell. This one's different because this one's actually got, I don't know if you can see, they've got little stoppers there that push in and out, and they've got a spring on each. So anyway, the long and short of it was, the new sync row, this one here that actually comes apart in 3 pieces. This isn't the new one, by the way, this is the old one. Obviously it just sat in that box for a little bit too long, and that outer ring, that middle ring was actually stuck to the outer ring, so when I was turning it, it was locking up. It was just locking on it. So what I've done is just popped a little bit of oil on it, and now, let's have it, hold on, we'll zoom you in again, get some close action shots. Yeah, so as you can see now, third gear is not selected, but it does turn. So first, second, third, obviously them two there are gripped. First, second, third. So this is fourth here with the new the brand new blocker ring on. So what we'll do is we'll pop that in and make sure I get rid of that. Pop fourth gear on. Hopefully. There we are, right, look, so there we are. Fourth gear spins. Yeah, so fourth gear spins and it's not engaged. Third gear spins when it's not engaged. Second, first. So if I like the feel of this, I'll be honest with you. I know it works, it's just not 10 volts. Where is that? Bet you're pleased you tuned in, so you're somebody who knows what they're doing. So one thing I'm not wanting to do is actually knock this bearing knocks on next. One thing I'm not wanting to do is actually knock the bearing on until I'm happy that this selects the gears. Especially on account of the fact that I've just had it apart. I don't know whether it's just because it's new and it's horrible or possibly I've done inside there. Right, okay. Look, I'll put you on time lapse, then I'll have it play about with that until I get it, until I'm happy with it selected. Because like I say, that one selects nice and easy. I don't know whether that's just because that one's like really worn. Or whether there's something that I'm missing. So yeah, I'll pop you on time lapse, I'll have a fiddle about with it, and then I'll catch up with you in a minute. Hey, we're back. I know for a fact there'll be some guy who builds gearboxes for a living watching me going, what the hell's he doing? Hasn't got a clue. I am literally, as I say, making this up as I go along, I'll be honest. So if, you know, again, never done one before, I'll be much wiser the second time, but it is what it is. So the reason that wasn't working properly was because I basically had it on upside down. For whatever reason it made it different. First gear spins. First gear's engaged. Second gear spins. Neutral, second gear's engaged. Back to neutral, ready to select. Third gear, which is spinning there. I drop that down. That is third gear, firmly selected. Fourth gear spins. Bring it back out to third gear, back to neutral, so it's spinning again. That's fourth gear. Engaged. Back to neutral again. Fourth gear spinning. Third gear spinning. Second gear spinning. First gear spinning. That's it. So what we'll do is, unfortunately I'm still waiting on one part coming. I'm still waiting for this piece here coming. I've ordered it from a company from eBay. I'll not name the company because that's obviously, as you know, it's not how we roll here. But I have ordered it from a company from eBay who have a 3 to 5 day dispatch. I ordered it a week ago, they've only just dispatched it this morning, which I thought was very nice. And now I'm going to wait another 3 to 5 day courier for it to actually get here. The long and short of it is, once I've got that piece in, I can slot this back into the gearbox housing, because that's got to go in underneath that. That literally sits on top of it. And then once that's done, I can get it all sorted out and then put the casing back on top of there. Obviously this will be the other way around. I can then put the casing back on top of there, and then I can reassemble. What am I moving around here? I can reassemble 5th gear. All I can do for now though is put that bit. All I can do for now is put that bearing on now. I'm happy that all this is as it should be. Obviously that will, 4th gear there will ease off, I would imagine, once it gets bathed in a bit of oil. So yeah, we'll go with that, and then once that's done, as I say, then I can pop it all back together again. See how we'll get on from there. But for now, until the part comes, I'm afraid that's it, boys and girls. Catch up with you in 2 seconds. In reality, it'll probably be about a week's time. Cheers. Right. Result. Finally, it's here. That's the piece that I've been waiting for, which unfortunately goes at the bottom of, I think, this bigger one here. This heavy one here. I made it sound heavier than it was really, I'm just messing with it. Yeah, so that came, that was how the other one looked. And that's how it's supposed to look. So it's described as an oil diverter, so I'm presuming obviously it must divert the oil, I presume. So yeah, I'm presuming this will help the whole thing. So yeah, so what we'll do is we'll slide that in there, and then effectively this shaft with all the gears on, this shaft with all the gears on, and the gear selectors all need to go together in a one, and the whole lot of them need to drop into the gearbox in one. I'll try and do it on camera, but I don't know how long it'll take, how long I might have to speed that up for. We'll see, we'll just wang through it and see what happens. Yeah, we'll get it done tonight. I think I've got it. So it selects the gears. Obviously it'll be smoother once they're secured in the top. I've tried it. I can select first, second, third and fourth and reverse. Obviously I can't select fifth yet because it's still on the bench. Little oil soak away tray. I assume it's to help feed the oil from the gearbox, and it drips it into the 5th gear corner, like on the outer casing. I assume that's what it's for anyway. I'm not 100% sure, but all the same, what we'll do is we will, yeah, I think I'm ready to glue this up basically. I've left this out because this is the rubber seal that seals, stops, hold on. I believe this piece here is where the water ingresses into the gearbox, because it all comes down there. So what I'll do is once I put this all back together again, I'll just literally cake that up with grease. Hopefully that'll stop the water. I've already modified the scuttle panel to stop the water from getting into it, getting down into this general area, so hopefully this might hold off for a little while. Worst case scenario, goes belly up, I rebuild the gearbox again, you know. It's not the end of the world, not the cheapest modification, but it is what it is. See how it goes, you know. Right, so yeah, I'll yeah, I think we're ready to drop the upper casing on once we've put some sealer on there, so we'll see how this goes. nearly broke us. I'm sure there'll be people possibly watching this who build gearboxes for a living, and they'll be like, what the hell is he doing? Doing this wrong, he's doing that wrong, do that easy. I don't know. Never done one of these before, as I say, so this has all been a bit of a learning curve for all of them, really. But I'm pleased to say we have a neutral, I think. Gear, reverse. There's another gear, and there's another gear. And the last one there, that one there. Ooh, I don't know if you can see or not. Hold on, we'll just zoom you in. This one here, the last gear, that one there, is 5th gear. So that hopefully should be that. Basically, I've a few more things to do now. I've got to put the little detention balls in here so that when I select the gear, it actually stays in gear effectively. If you remember rightly from the start of the video, these were the 3 on one of the balls. Oh, the ball's dropped. These were the 3 like caps that I had to take out. That one obviously I managed to get out. That one there put up a bit of a fight, as you can tell. And that one there put up a lot of a fight. I had to actually drill that one out and put a, I would like to say an easy out in, but that's not how it worked. I just kind of dogged it up with some other stuff. So anyway, yeah, what I'll do is I'll flip it up, we'll pop them back in. I've got some new caps here ready to go on. And then last thing is basically just to assemble 5th gear onto there with the new components that I've got. And that's it. The gearbox is built up, ready to go in. Right, just to go over it, so pop them screws in there so that it's a bit more confident now. So what you've got is, you've got reverse, you can hear that, 1st, 2nd, hold on, where is it? Where the fuck is it there? 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Simple as that. Now, where I suspect very much it leaks water in, and people are going to say, oh, you should have changed that while you were on. Well, I didn't, so, you know, sucks to be me. Again, this is why I'm going to just grease this shaft really bad, but if you look, there's actually quite a bit of play in there, so that's probably, I'm guessing, where the water comes in. So yeah, I'm just going to basically cake that with grease when I put the whole thing back together again. I'll not do it just yet, because obviously I've still got to handle the gearbox to fit it in and out. So yeah, so that's that. So all I'm going to do is just flip it up now, whack the 5th gear on, and hopefully, touch wood, that should be it. The gearbox is done. We're ready to refit. See how it goes. Right, and that's it. That's pretty much all we've got time for this time. I would like to have had a little bit more time on it. Not been as much of a rush to get the van going. I would have given the casing a bit of a clean up, but as it is, I've powder coated the back panel and a couple of little brackets and bits and bobs on it. What I'll probably do, obviously, once it's all in and running and I'm happy with it, I'll give it a hot jet wash, blast some water back inside that gearbox, and not the gearbox again. Nah, seriously though. What I'll do, once it's all back in, I'll probably try and give it a bit of a degrease downside the engine bay. Obviously, once that back top end's all greased up and we're sorted. So, really strange. I kind of enjoyed it and didn't enjoy it at the same time. It was good little exercise the first time I've done one. It was a bit fiddly and a bit troublesome at times, but quite satisfied that it's done. Now, these are the questions. Will it work?
Possibly, possibly not, we don't know. Will it leak? Possibly, possibly not, we don't know. Is it going to fix the problems? Is it going to be the last of the problems? Who knows? We don't know. To find out, you'll have to tune in next time, because that's when we'll have the gearbox in and we'll take it on its road test just to see how she goes. So if you've made it this far through the video, thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing for more winging it videos like this, because this is what we do best here. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys the next time. Cheers.